So the Washington Post wrote a hit piece attacking parents who are concerned over the face panties, which is the mask mandate, but we should just call it what it is, for having ties to the Independent Women's Forum, right? And the Koch brothers, dangerous people. Everybody's a terrorist now, apparently. Carrie Lukas is the president of the International Women's Forum. She joins me now to discuss because this is what it was circulated within their group. Carrie, good to see you. I have to read the way that they treated this. The Koch-backed group fuels opposition to school mask mandates, and it's all very serious, and we should be very concerned about this. But they ignore the actual point of the letter, which I think is hysterical, in favor of trying to drum up some outrage over who the people are that are objecting to this. Good to see you. Talk to me about this.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, because I do think this is one that it's a really important illustration of media bias and really the way that media is trying to shut parents and shut individuals out of the conversation. That's really the bottom line. They don't think that people like you and me, that we should be expressing our opinions on things like whether our kids should be forced to wear masks, and are really distorting the tone, the conversation, the concerns. They think they know better than us and don't want us to have a voice, and we just refuse to take that. And I know there's a lot of parents out there, there's a lot of Americans out there who are just so tired of being told that they should just defer to their betters and keep their head down and do whatever they're told. We're trying to empower people that you can speak up, you can push back, and you should push back and defend your kids and your beliefs.
Yeah, and I would imagine that this is kind of a weird thing for a lot of the very far progressive / Marxist on the left to understand. The Independent Women's Forum, they don't even want to say women anymore. So it would be what, Independent Birthing Person Forum or something of that nature, because there's a lot of moms obviously in this group. And when moms are a part of a group, they discuss. It's one of the things we love to do. When we are all together, we like to talk about this stuff. And so that's kind of how it started, very innocently, with it being shared, and people were, as I understand it, it was a suggestion, like, if this is something that you're having trouble with in your area, this is, handle it this way, reach out, speak to your schools, etc. But that's a big no-no, and you're bad for organizing or something.
Yeah, it is funny. I think it's worth knowing. So we have, we've got a Independent Women's Forum, has about 25 employees, one of whom is a mom with 2 really little kids. She actually she had a 3rd baby, but she's all these little guys who are in this preschool in Denver, and they were requiring that she had to put a mask on her 2-year-old son's face. And I don't know if anybody out there has really little kids, toddlers.
Yeah. Have they met a 2-year-old? Have they met a toddler?
Gosh. Exactly. Yeah. So she wrote this really kind. She wrote it with, she wasn't mean, she wasn't attacking, she was sympathetic to the challenges they face, and she explained why she thought that they weren't taking into account the full story. Because as parents, we all know that, we don't want our kids to get sick, sure. We also want our kids to be mentally healthy. We want them to learn how to speak and how to read each other's faces and to have that emotional IQ. We care about their mental health as well as their physical health. So she writes this very kind letter. She shared it with some of us on our staff, and we say, hey, this is a really important resources for other people to have. So we share it on Independent Women's Network, where we have a lot of tools for parents and for individuals, Americans who want to get involved and push back on the local level. So we put this up there, and then the Washington Post calls us as if it's a tremendous scoop that we have this, this guidance for parents that we're trying to push back against mask mandates. And it was really unbelievable, the kind of just how, how almost like hysterical their description was, as if we were presenting some huge threat to them, and that we were encouraging people to question school administrators. It was really, I think it's revealing, because I do think that they worry a lot, because they know that individuals, people like us, empowered women, empowered men who are out there and willing to stand up, we can make a difference, and we should.